Hello students, now we are going to discuss about Newton's laws. Newton has given three different laws based on the motion of the object on the earth's surface. Newton analyzed the views of Galileo and the other scientists like Kepler and Copernicus on motion and provided much deeper insights in the form of three laws. Let us discuss about that. Newton's first law. What is Newton's first law? It states that every object continues to be in the state of rest or of uniform motion with constant velocity unless there is an external force acting on it. Once again I repeat, every object continues to be in the state of rest or of uniform motion with constant velocity unless there is external force acting on it. This Newton's first law tells about the inertia of the object. What is meant by inertia? Inertia is nothing but the resistance to the change its state. Inertia means the resistance to change the state of the object, which means that the inability of the objects to move on its own or change its state of motion. What is inertia? The inability of the objects to move on its own or change its state of motion is called inertia. We are having three types of inertia. They are inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Let us discuss about that in detail. What is inertia of rest? It is nothing but the inability of the object to change its state of rest. For example, when a stationary bus starts to move, the passengers experience a sudden backward push. Due to inertia of the body of the passenger, it will try to continue in the state of rest while the bus moves forward. This appears as a backward push, which is shown in the figure. So hence we can say that the inability of the object to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. And next one, inertia of motion. What is inertia of motion? The inability of the object to change the state of its motion is called inertia of motion. For example, when the bus is in motion and if the brake is applied suddenly, what will happen? The passengers will move forward and hit against the front seat. In this case, the bus comes to the stop while the body of the passenger continues to move forward due to the property of inertia. So hence we can say that the inability of an object to change its state of uniform motion or uniform speed on its own is called inertia of motion. Next one, inertia of direction. What is inertia of direction? The inability of the object to change its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. For example, when a stone attached to a string is in whirling motion and if the string is cut suddenly, what will happen? The stone will not continue to move in circular motion, but it moves tangential to the circle. This is because the body cannot change its direction of motion without any force acting on it. Hence, from this example, we can say that the inability of the object to change its direction of motion on its own is called inertia of direction. So from these three examples and laws, we can say that Newton's first law is valid only for the inertial frames. What are inertial frames? It is a special set of frames in which if an object experiences no force, it moves with constant velocity or remains at rest. That is called inertial frames. For example, for all practical purposes, we can treat our earth as an inertial frame because an object on the table in the laboratory appears to be at rest always. This object never picks up acceleration in the horizontal direction since there is no force acts on the object in the horizontal direction. So the laboratory can be taken as the inertial frame for all physics experiments and calculations. Suppose a train is moving with constant velocity with respect to an inertial frame. Then the object at rest in the inertial frame appears to move with constant velocity with respect to the train. So the train can be treated as an inertial frame. So all the inertial frames moving with constant velocity relative to each other. If an object appears to be at rest in one inertial frame, it may appear to move with constant velocity with respect to the another inertial frame. For example, look at the picture. The car is moving with uniform velocity with respect to a person who is standing on the ground. As the car is moving with constant velocity with respect to the person standing on the ground at rest, here both the frames, the ground as well as the train, are considered as what? Inertial frames. Next one, we are going to discuss about non-inertial frames. Suppose an object remains at rest on the smooth table kept inside the train, and if the train suddenly accelerates, note the word accelerates, the object appears to accelerate backwards even without any force acting on it. It is a clear explanation of Newton's first law. As the object gets accelerated without being acted upon by a force, it implies that the train is not an inertial frame when it is accelerated. So for example, look at the picture. The car too is a non-inertial frame because it moves with the acceleration a with respect to the ground. So we can say that all the accelerated frames are called as a non-inertial frames. A rotating frame is also a non-inertial frame since the rotation requires what? Acceleration. So in this sense, Earth is also said to be a non-inertial frames because it has self-rotation as well as orbital motion. But these rotational effects of Earth can be ignored for the motion involved in our day-to-day life. For example, when the object is thrown or the time or period of the simple pendulum is measured in the physics laboratory, the Earth's self-rotation has very negligible effect on it. In this sense, Earth can be treated as an inertial frame. But in some other cases, it will be treated as a non-inertial frame. For example, in order to analyze the motion of satellites and wind patterns around the Earth, we cannot treat Earth as an inertial frame. So in such cases, since the Earth has self-rotation and has strong influence on the wind patterns and satellite motion, it will be treated as a non-inertial frame. Thank you, students.